GuitarLessons.com, the #1 name in guitar lessons online.
Welcome to GuitarLessons.com. I'm Nate Savage. In this lesson, we're going to be learning a little bit about how guitar chord extensions are made. So let's jump right into it. Let's make a C major triad, starting with our third finger on our D string on the 10th fret, our middle finger on the 9th fret of our G string, and our index finger on the 8th fret of our B string. And if you know about how your major chords are built, you know that this is a major third, first two notes, and the next interval is a minor third. So basically we're just stacking thirds, C, E, and G. Now if we want to make a major 7th chord, if we're in the key of C major, all we're going to do is stack another third on top of that. So we're going to take those three notes, instead of getting them with our first, second, and third finger, we're going to grab them with our second, third, and fourth finger. And then we're going to grab the 7th of the chord up here on the 7th fret of our high E string. That B note right there. So play all four of those notes together. What you do is just stacking thirds, or if you think about it in a scalar fashion, you're going to play a C, skip a note, play that next note, it'll be an E, skip a note again, it'd be a G, skip a note again, skip that A note, and go right to a B note. That's what we mean when we say we're stacking thirds. Now if you wanted to do another extension, a chord extension, say you wanted to put a 9 on there, you would stack another third above that. I did that just so you could kind of hear what it sounds like in succession. What I did was I just went up there with my right hand and tapped the 9 of that chord, which would be a D, just so you could hear it. Now that's a pretty inefficient way to play it, but it's a good way to explain it, because a third, a minor third, away from this B is a D, and that would be a major 9 chord. Now let's learn a voicing that's a little bit easier to use in your music. Let's go down here to the 3rd fret of our A string with our middle finger. Our index finger is going to grab the 2nd fret of our D string. Our third finger is going to grab the 3rd fret of your B string. And finally, your pinky is going to get the G string on the 4th fret. This is a major 9 chord. If you'll notice, we're only playing 4 notes instead of 5. What's happening is we're just leaving the 5th out. The 3rd note of that chord up here, that G, we're leaving out. And you'll find that a lot of times when you have chord extensions or chords with more than 3 notes in them, you're probably going to end up leaving the 5th out, just because you can really get by without it on a lot of voicings. So if you have this chord, you can notice that this is the root, your C. This is your E, your 3rd. Your 9th is over here on the B string. And your 7th, your major 7th, is your pinky. Same sound. Just a better voicing for that chord. So when you're learning new chords, go through and find out which notes are which scale degrees relative to the chord you're playing. So like root, 3rd, 7th, 9. That'll make it a lot easier when you start improvising over chords. If you had like a C major scale right here, I would know from that shape that that's my 9. And if I wanted that sound, I would go right to that note. So take this idea with the 7th chords that you already know, play the 7th chords, and see if you can find the 9th and stick it in somewhere on that. You may have to drop the 5th of the chord to free up a finger to be able to play it, but you should be able to do it regardless.